You're not saying the line.
I just don't think I would ever say, ah, that's refreshing.
Everybody says that. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Ah, that's refreshing.
Like that?
Yeah.
Ah, that's refreshing.
Let's reset.
Oh, that really is refreshing.
You said the line.
Is already hopping as we get ready for a good one tonight. Iowa State, K-State kicking off a big night of volleyball in the conference here on ESPN+. Some big conference ranked matches coming up later tonight. We'll talk more about those later during the broadcast. Liz Wagner-Bush, the former All-American. Brian Smolder with you. Sophie Smith will join us here in a moment. But kind of the opening act of the late show tonight, which will be taking center stage with the Big 12, is this great rivalry between K-State and Iowa State, which always seems to bring up the best in both teams.
Yeah, we can expect this game's going to go 5 sets regardless of what happens either way. It's going to be super competitive, highly athletic individuals out there really competing for a big, big win tonight.
We're going to see two of the Big 12's best outside hitters as well. We start with Shaylee Myers, the reigning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, Shaylee Myers, we've been talking about her all season. She's had 224 kills this season, 4.98 kills per set. In the last 9 matches, over 5 kills per set, hitting 321. She's doing it all for the Wildcats in the front and in the back row. On the other side of the net, we've got Aaliyah Goolsby, a freshman for Iowa State. In the last 8 matches, she's averaging 4.21 kills per set. She is hitting 17 kills per match as a freshman, doing it all and making little errors, which is why she's on the court as a freshman.
Some K-State connections with Goolsby, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We mentioned Sophie Smith. We go to her with more as K-State comes home after a road trip. Sophie.
Hey, Brian. Coach Mansfield told us earlier this week that he's very proud of how his team competed on the road at West Virginia and Cincinnati. And they're not the only ones who have been tested on the road. Coach Johnson Lynch is coming off of 5 of their last 7 games have been on the road. And she told us that they really came into this season with a nothing-to-lose mindset, and they're just getting more confident every single game.
Well, it'll be important tonight in this environment, a place that, along with Bramlage Coliseum, Ahern Fieldhouse has been unkind to Iowa State as of late. The Cyclones have lost 6 straight in the series to K-State, 7 of the last 8, and they have not won in this building since it opened 3 years ago. You can see it's packed to the brim, another sellout here at Morgan Family Arena in this, the 105th edition of the matchup between Iowa State and Kansas State. The last time they met, a 5-setter. What do you expect tonight? Another 5-setter in this great rivalry between the two teams. We'll get Liz's keys to victory in a moment. K-State in purple, Iowa State in road gray. Underway, and right from the get-go, a middle shot fired wide by Nayeli Tia. All right, let's do keys to the match here, Liz. What do you think for these two teams?
Yeah, for Iowa State on the road, they've got to defend the pins. We know Myers, we know Clinton. You've got Fox. They've got to shut those hitters down. And then they've got to minimize their errors. On the road, if you want to win games in the Big 12, you've got to have little errors. And then for K-State, they've got to serve up some stress. Iowa State has some offensive weapons. They got to get them out of system often, put pressure on their freshman outside hitter. And then relentless defense, they got to frustrate K-State and not allow them to be terminal.
There's a look at Clinton, who played so well on the road along with Myers. Duckworth got the kill on one that was contested near the net. Iowa State with a good serve. K-State will go to Fox. Another back row attack. Tia blocked down by Jordan Williams.
A little misconnection there on that back row attack for Iowa State. Not able to really put much on it. Just timing and rhythm and where that ball was located.
Well, Iowa State has been flirting back and forth between a 6-2 and a 5-1, trying to figure out what's best to get all of their players who are healthy and available on the floor. They are, it looks like, without Tierney Jackson tonight, a starting middle hitter. And that would mean 2 starting middle hitters out for Iowa State. K-State's Brenna Schmidt, one of their starting middle hitters, also not playing here tonight. So both a little light as far as depth in the middle of the court.
And you see Iowa State's moved almost to kind of that 3 outside hitter rotation, kind of like K-State. They've got, you've got Goolsby on the outside, but you know, really what we've seen in the past has been Duckworth playing on the outside, now playing more right side and putting up a good block for the Iowa State defense.
At 5'8", Duckworth, one of the highest leapers in the Big 12. We'll talk about that throughout the night. Goolsby undersized at 5'10", and Tia 5'11". None of those 3 outside hitters over 6 foot. Very unusual in the modern Big 12. But more common than you would think. It was many years ago that everybody on the outside had 6-footers, 6'2", high sets, going after high contact. Then it kind of changed the game. Baylor was one, Texas another, that really loaded up with these athletic, undersized outside hitters that could just go up and get it. And now you see more of that. Lauren Schneider for K-State would be one off the bench that could do that at 5'9". As you see a service error by Iowa State, their first here of the night. So a couple of attack errors early for the Cyclones as K-State gets an ace from Anaya Clinton.
And we see there Clinton really putting pressure on Goolsby. Back to pass, but putting in that seam between Tia and Goolsby. A little miscommunication there.
Goolsby moves a little farther up towards the 10-foot line. Service to Tia. Here's Goolsby, blocked. High hand shot, missed everything. Goolsby from Olathe, Kansas. She is one of 3 Kansas natives on the roster for Iowa State, all from the Kansas City area, and they have a good cheering section here tonight to watch them play. Clinton still serving in this rotation. A good start for K-State. Tapped by McCune. Myers straight to the ground in front of Van Gort. And Myers picking up where she left off on this last road trip. And a timeout for Christy Johnson-Lynch. Kansas State continuing the house of horrors for the Cyclones in Manhattan. Myers already with 2 kills will be returned on ESPN+. K-State off to a fast start, hitting 500, but it's been more the mistakes of Iowa State that have allowed the Wildcats to get off to a quick start.
Yeah, one of the keys for Iowa State to win, to walk away with a win tonight, is to really minimize those errors. Haven't seen that so far tonight. We'll see what adjustments Coach Johnson-Lynch makes here. We've seen her play a lot of different players, some of that due to some injuries, but also just trying to fill those spots and find who's going to be able to step into the spot.
I asked Christy Johnson-Lynch, and I think it was your question about playing in this environment. We saw a couple of years ago, Nayeli Gonzalez, who was off to such a fantastic start as a true freshman, really have a tough time with the environment in Morgan Family Arena. Back to Myers. She goes up the left line, and Shady playing with such confidence right now, just ripping away on the left.
Yeah, you know, with her success, that really allows her to go up there and just swing very freely. She's not getting inside of her head because she's had so much success. So, you know, I'm sure she's got the green light to kind of go up there and move that ball around.
See a 5-0 run here on Clinton's serve. She'll be a little long and miss, but a good serving run from K-State's Clinton, who has battled through some bumps and bruises. More on that later. As Kansas State is up 6. Thanks to a 5-0 run of points from Clinton. And now Duckworth. Back to Myers. Changes up her shot and gets another kill.
Yeah, nice job. Myers has that space to really cut that cross-court shot. Iowa State not stepping into that open cross-court angle, and she's burned them on it so far a couple times tonight.
So much when you talk about middle blockers not being in the lineup, you think first about offense, but truthfully, defense also becomes an issue. No touch on the shot near side, or they are going to get a touch. They are. And K-State wants to challenge. They don't believe that the line judge of the far side would have been able to see that there was a touch. So a touch challenge coming.
Kansas State is challenging that there was no touch.
William Stanley, our floor official. Michelle Prater, our up official today. William Stanley has been reffing in the Big 12 for many years. Veteran, and he'll go and look at this, and as we will as well. Goolsby looking for that high hands hit. Hard to tell if Legrand's finger moves at all there. We're also looking at the ball to see if the rotation changes.
That's, the ball almost gets in the way of that shot. Oh, no.
No, that is not close. Didn't get touched by Van Lanen in the back line. Do not believe this will go Iowa State's way. 2 challenges in the first 4 sets for each team. If you win the challenge, you keep it. You get an additional challenge in the 5th, should it come around. Jason Mansfield hoping that this one goes his way. You can see those green ribbons being worn on the shirts of the coaches and in the hair of the players. Tonight is Mental Health Awareness Night, and that is the reason for the green ribbons in the hair of the Wildcats. In case you were wondering, Mental Health Awareness Month. The ruling now from Milton Stanley.
The call is reversed. No touch. K-State wins the point and will retain their challenge.
There you go. Well done by our crew as well, getting great shots. You can see those 2 high-speed cameras really make the difference when it comes to taking a review. So Jason Mansfield will keep that challenge, the point to K-State, and the side out as well to the Wildcats on yet another attack error by Iowa State. That's already 5 attack errors, only 2 kills for the Cyclones. And now Van Lanen, who has seen a lot of playing time the last 2 weeks as a serving specialist and then playing a rotation in the back row. And she picks an ace. This is a much better start serving-wise for K-State than we saw against Arizona State.
Yeah, Coach Mansfield's going to be real happy with what's going on so far here. He's finding the seams between the 2 passers.
Slide run by McCune, long, no touch. Again, a little bit of an experience at middle hitter right now for Iowa State. McCune and the true freshman Reagan Hanfeld expected to run in the middle tonight, with Hendricks Walker, a former All-Big 12 pick a year ago, out with an injury, and it looks like Tierney Jackson joining her, not suited up today. Leah from the back row. That time, it was in rhythm.
Ooh, that was much better rhythm and spacing there.
Leah, a transfer out of San Jose State. She was injured for much of the preseason, kind of got off to a slow start, trying to get healthy and get going, but she comes into tonight. Double-figure kills in 3 straight and 4 of the last 5. Tight set for Legrand, sets up Lundgren. Overpass, saved by Pond. K-State still battling, standing roll shot from Myers. Leah couldn't get the touch, missed outside.
Yeah, really working that line. Iowa State's trying to find that line using hands, but just missing a little wide so far.
Faith Durande was going to check in at the last second, but did not get to the table in time. Quick set McCune, and she's able to finish on the right side. Durandi will check in for Goolsby into the back row, and up front will go Reagan Hanfeld, who has been a story for the Cyclones here the last couple of matches. We'll hear more about her coming up. Lundgren on a quick strike from LeGrand.
A great sign there for the Wildcats. Coach Mansfield will talk about her emerging over the past weekend with her attacking and offense becoming more prominent, exactly what he wants to see from the freshman.
Clinton able to get to the tip try. Another set for Lundgren. Blocked, pushed over by K-State. Wanted up on the dive by Durandi, and then thrown Leah out of bounds, but they got a touch, and they got the point.
There was a lot going on in that play. Bodies flying all over the place. It's an amazing setup there in the back row.
Van Gorp to Leah, what a pass. And Clinton tools the block and gets the kill on the far side.
And we talk about Shaylee Myers coming alive on the road. This past weekend, Clinton also really stepped up in a big way for the Wildcats.
The last couple of games, Clinton, the last 2 matches, 50 kills for K-State. Leah's getting a lot of action here early for Iowa State. Duckworth on the left is Doug. Thrown all the way out to Clinton, who splits a double team and puts it in the right corner.
Yeah, K-State's doing a great job of finding the space, finding the angles, using the deep corner shot, moving the ball around. Iowa State just not able to find any defensive rhythm here.
Saw one of the blockers there was Reagan Hanfeld. She's standing to the right of Christy Johnson-Lynch, being more and more the focus, the true freshman middle hitter. And more on her, we go to Sophie Smith.
Well, Brian, the plan this year was to actually redshirt Reagan Hanfeld, but Coach Johnson-Lynch told us earlier this week that when the opportunity came up for her to get on the court, she couldn't be more excited. She also told us that Hanfeld is a fearless kid. You would expect a freshman to be a little bit nervous coming onto the court, but not her. And Coach Johnson-Lynch also told us in the last 2 matches, she really stepped it up on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, 7 kills, hit 700 against Texas Tech, to your point, Sophie, and 4 blocks in each of the 2 matches. It's been a rough start for her and her teammates here tonight, but she used the word, Christy Johnson-Lynch used the word fearless a number of times when talking about this young freshman class that they've got.
Yeah, you know, and you want to get those types of players who are going to go out there and just battle and compete, and that's what she's found in this group of freshmen, and she's getting some good results from that. So that's why you want to get those players who are willing to come and just battle for you, you know, night in and night out, especially in the tough Big 12 conference.
And environments like this, you have to be fearless in order to be able to handle the noise and the environment here at Morgan Family Arena. Volleyball only facility, 3,000 strong, sold out each night, and it is loud inside this building. Acoustically built to replicate Ahern Fieldhouse. And Ahern, if you know anything about that place, it could get extremely loud in the old barn back in the day. Simone Sims to serve. Out right side, blocked a roof by Clinton and Williams.
I think that was all Clinton. Does a nice job setting that up, and she jumps so well, presses, doesn't allow any seams for Iowa State. They just haven't been able to find that offense.
Another short serve by Simone Sims. Iowa State scrambling for it. They get it over from Duckworth. Fox off of Duckworth, and Iowa State has no answer right now. K-State dominating here in the first set.
Yeah, the tempo for K-State has been giving a lot of trouble for this Iowa State block. And we saw there Fox, the benefactor there of that nice fast tempo set.
Hanfeld off the top of the block. K-State goes to Williams, and a bit unlucky, caught the net. That's the first attack error of the night for K-State. They had been hitting, as you saw there a moment ago, with 615. And to this point, they have sided out at 100%. Iowa State has not had consecutive serves yet. They will get it. Not here. I thought it was going to go down. Great play by K-State. Goolsby off the block. Sims with a one-handed up. That feeds Clinton. Sims with another up, but this time Myers couldn't get to it near the band, and it falls for a kill for Iowa State. But K-State flying around on defense. And again, much more consistency was a word that Jason Mansfield said has eluded his team. He had hoped that he would see more of it from set to set on this brief homestand. Clinton off the block gets the kill.
You see Iowa State's bringing that block a little inside now, with K-State really hitting that cross-court shot. Got some hands on that, but Clinton does a nice job just using that block.
Hanfield didn't get much on it. LeGrand hits the pipe, and Myers wide of the mark. A rare mistake from Shaylee Myers. Jason Mansfield was bouncing up and down on his toes, clapping his hands. He thought that was going to be the perfect turn in transition for K-State. Clinton Roof, the first time Iowa State able to get a block. And it's McCune leading the charge. Almost to what you said about setting up, taking away that cross court.
Let's see, Clinton and Myers has that ability to move it around. We'll see if they start mixing up their shot just a little bit.
Right side, K-State gets it off the block.
I think that's a good set there by LeGrand, taking advantage of the freshman blocker there on the outside for Iowa State.
See Jordan Williams' numbers more critical to K-State with the injury to Brenna Schmidt. Schmidt still getting better, expected back soon, but not in the lineup tonight. So you see Duckworth get her first kill from the right side. Love watching Maya Duckworth play.
Yeah, and really the evolution of Duckworth and her play, and it being a senior leader on this team, you could really see her calming presence, especially with a lot of the freshmen on the court with her.
First team All-Region, Region Freshman of the Year, and second team All-Big 12 when she burst on the scene a few years ago. And in her career, she has put up some great numbers against K-State. Myers. Ho-hum, just another 5-kill set for Shaylee Myers.
She definitely makes it look easy.
It hasn't always been that way. The journey has been long for Myers. Great introspective story written by D. Scott Fritchen that was on KStateSports.com. Profiling Myers and her ups and downs coming from the high school ranks to college, going through a year or two of not success, coaching change, and then last year kind of the third hitter in that 3-hitter rotation, along with Anaya Clinton and Aaliyah Carter, and then this year getting a chance to shine, and she has just took an off season, really got after it, trying to improve her game, and it started in the spring. K-State coaches said that's when it turned around for Myers, and it all came together.
Want to talk about your tempo. That was a fast set there for McCune out of the middle.
McCune coming off back-to-back matches of double-figure kills. Junior out of Maryland. Serving at Myers. Clinton will take it from the middle back. Great dig by Van Gorp. Leah with a beautiful change of pace shot. A couple of points here in a row for Iowa State.
Yeah, at this point, really trying to salvage as much of this set as they can. Try to gain some momentum. It's a marathon.
Myers, aggressive throw into the hands. Iowa State gets to Leah off the top of the block. LeGrand goes out to Myers, and she snaps it even closer to the net, inside the 3-meter line.
That's an impressive angle there by Myers. Sees it open. You can see she recognizes that's open and is able to find that spot.
7 kills for Myers now, hitting .600 in set 1. Set point for K-State. A block on Leah. She'll get another swing. High hand shot. She got the touch and the point. Match point, or set point number 1 is broken. Leah has taken 15 swings out of the 34 so far for Iowa State. Deep serve by Van Gorp. Another one for Leah, dug by Clinton. Popped up for Fox, overpass on the receive. Fox right into Van Gorp, that sets it up. Durande from the back row, Clinton will dig. Rally continues, Fox tries to come near side, but misses after she hit the net. A third set point coming for K-State. Myers is roofed. Leah. Or Tia, I should say. Tia with a great stuff. Another good serve by Van Gorp. K-State looking for answers in this set point. Myers, an aggressive throw, will get it on her 8th kill of set 1. When in doubt, find 14. Myers finishes the first. 8 kills for the Big 12's Offensive Player of the Week.
Great fortune awaits with Tiger and Dragon from the Kansas Lottery. Win up to $125,000 instantly, plus even more with the Play On app. Unleash your luck today.
Behind every winning team is a playbook. Ours, it's built on trust, team, care, passion. Headquartered in Manhattan, Kansas, and founded by proud K-State alumni, we're purple to the core. Just like our passion for the Cats, our passion to make buying and selling equipment simple, transparent, and straightforward runs deep. At Purple Wave Auction, our #1 play is connecting buyers and sellers across the country with no reserves and no surprises. From ag and construction to fleet equipment, we're your trusted team. Purple Wave Auction, proud sponsor of K-State Athletics.
Hey, grab me one too.
What we grow here defies expectation. Hungry minds searching for answers. Explorers of the impossible. Breakthroughs without end. People who see the world not as it is, but as it could be. You'd be amazed at what we grow here.
Well, Shaylee Myers, Liz, has been a story all week in the Big 12, and she's picked up right where she left off.
Yeah, and she does it with such ease. You watch her play, and she just looks so confident, calm, collected, and she's up there hitting shots all across the court from the front row and the back row. And we see she's really seeing the block really well and making smart decisions at the net.
leads the Big 12 at 4.98 kills per set and in total kills at 224. That despite the fact that K-State has played 2 or 3 less matches than everybody else. They've only played 12 matches this season. You look at the numbers she put up against West Virginia, 34 kills, hit over 400 that night with 5 aces, and the 34 kills set the rally scoring era record for kills in a set. And you can see that list of all Americans and great ones here at K-State. Dawn Katie, Kathy Saxton, and our own Liz Wagner-Bush only have more than the 34 that Myers put up at West Virginia last week. Impressive stuff from Myers, who, in addition to being the Big 12 leader in kills and kills per set, she ranks 7th in the nation in kills per set and 7th in the country in points per set. So even in 12 matches, she is putting up numbers that are among the nation's leaders. We get this email every week from ESPN that has all of the nation's top players, and I'm still waiting for Shaylee Myers to break into that list. They're like, well, hold on, her numbers are better than almost everybody on this list.
Yeah, you would definitely think with how she's producing night in and night out that would definitely put her on the players to watch.
The Big 12 as a conference, the second best league in America. They have 10 teams inside the top 35 in the RPI. The Big 12 does. 10 in the top 35. They are the second-rated conference in the RPI overall. And Jason Mansfield's club coming in with an RPI of 29. And that's 6th best in the Big 12. So it's not a night. And he was telling us about West Virginia and Cincinnati that they are way better than they have been in years past. And that's when you look at top to bottom.
Yeah, West Virginia with a huge win this past weekend, knocking off BYU. You just see how strong the Big 12 really is when you look at night in and night out, you know, possibly playing a ranked opponent, but then also the ability to kind of win some RPI points and beat some tough teams. 2
big ones later tonight, Colorado at Arizona and Baylor at Arizona State. We'll talk more about those later, but Colorado, a team that's playing lights out now into the top 25. We saw Arizona here play fantastic. They're hosting the Buffs in an old Pac-12 rivalry, and then that Baylor-Arizona State match late tonight at 9 on ESPN Plus will be one you can't miss. We'll be watching it. Liz and I both will be watching it from our respective homes tonight.
That's right.
When we get done with this
one.
That is going to be a fun match. And it sounds like we're going to have a challenger on the first point of the second set. So you look at Baylor against Arizona State tonight on right here on ESPN Plus. If you're already watching us, just keep it on. Check out Colorado, Arizona for a little bit, and then watch that Baylor Arizona State match. So here's the challenge on this point. A kill from Clinton on the floor ruled in attack error, that it did not catch the high hands of Iowa State. We'll get a look at it ourselves.
Yep.
And that clearly touched the hand of Morgan Brandt. Again, good work by our camera crew. Setter Brandt, the only one there. This will be a quick challenge.
After review, the call is going to be reversed. K-State will win the point and retain their challenge.
2 challenges made by K-State. Both have been won by Jason Mansfield, so he gets to retain both challenges. So, K-State to serve with Sims. And a service error as it hits the tape. Second error for the Wildcats, but they have 2 aces and otherwise have served very well here tonight. Cyclones libero, Van Gorp to put it in. Again, one of 3 Kansas City kids on the roster for Iowa State. And they've got a good contingent here tonight watching. Popped over the net by Tia. Clinton wanted to go inside of the block, but didn't have much room to navigate and put it into the band.
A little out of system set there for Clinton, was very inside. So you run out of that space for that cross court shot. So just a little sharp on the angle, needed to go a little deeper corner.
Martin off the block. Thrown out to Tia. Pipe from Durande. Clinton quickly trying to get a touch, did not get the call. Iowa State able to get out of the way, and the Cyclones up 4-1. K-State a little error prone here to begin. Jason Mansfield right in front of us talking with Anaya Clinton about shot selection. Williams on the quick set. Couple of mistakes by the outsides. LeGrand pushes middle.
And Williams has been really good for the Wildcats here recently. Had a good weekend on the road, West Virginia and Cincinnati. Good sign there for the Wildcats.
Pond with an ace. One of the freshmen for K-State, a top 25 recruiting class. Kaylee Pond was one of the headliners of that. Two-time Virginia Player of the Year, was an outside hitter in high school. He puts one into the net here, but one of those great all-around volleyball players that K-State wanted in their system as a passer. And she's the libero of the future. Sims on the serve receive. LeGrand will take it herself. Iowa State wanted an attack error on LeGrand. So you can't, there are no longer any double hits. The only time you can get called for a double hit is if you attack with it. You could argue that on LeGrand there, or you could argue a lift.
Yeah.
The ball was in her hand too long, but neither one bought by the officials. Great serve by Clinton, who served a 5-0 run back in set one. Williams just batting one across, and it's going to end up working out. And after being down 4 points early, K-State ties it up. Clinton back to serve again. Duckworth trying to get up the line, instead hit it right out of bounds. K-State has taken the lead at 6-5. Clinton continuing to serve. This is a good rotation, it would appear, for Clinton, serving and providing K-State with a lift. Did it with the kills last week, doing it with the serve here tonight. Tia up the line and got to the point in the side out to break that serve from K-State. Now they're going to say we're going to get a challenge. Another one here. K-State saying that there was no touch on this play, and that it was out all the way. LeGrand, you can see, immediately turned saying didn't touch it. The only question would be Sims, I guess.
Kansas State is challenging, there was no touch.
Hard to see.
It wasn't really at her hands. It was more her arm.
The only question is, did the arm of LeGrand hit it? And again, her first reaction was no.
Yeah.
So the players usually are the ones that will tell you. And then Sims didn't look like she touched it. While we have a moment, though, let's talk about Anaya Clinton, because last week, lost in the limelight, and deservedly so, of Shaylee Myers doing what she did, was Clinton's 25 kills, where she hit 248 from the left. Also provided 23 digs over 2 matches. And then we hear later that she's doing it banged up, got injured in practice, and this has kind of been a theme for her. So for more on Clinton and what's been a frustrating kind of behind-the-scenes sort of nagging injuries, let's go to Sophie Smith.
Yeah, Brian, Jason Mansfield said yesterday that Anaya Clinton has always been one of those players who have played through pain. The first third of last season, she dealt with a torn quad. She's dealt with a bad back her whole entire career, but she's really continued to tough it out and play with a resilience that Coach Mansfield says he doesn't know many other kids that would battle the way that she does throughout her college career.
Kansas State wins the point and
There you
retains
go.
their challenge.
So another one challenge. Thank you, Sophie. Listen, you had times when you were dinged up as well as an outside hitter and had to play through it. It is no fun trying to go up and jump when you got bad back, you've got other things going on, and it's not always talked about. It's not the obvious, like, hey, I got my wrist wrapped or I got my leg wrapped or whatever, right?
Right.
Clinton throwing one over here again.
And part of your job, you know, is to continue to perform and just act like it's not there and kind of fight through some of that pain, you know, and You definitely wouldn't have known that watching that West Virginia game with Clinton.
Clinton with 4 kills tonight, 5 digs and an ace and a big roof earlier in that first set. Pawn, a good serve receive. Legrand trying to take it into her own hands. Duckworth touched. Sims to Williams. A little too tall on that quick set. Back to Duckworth. One blocker and she'll finish.
Duckworth was one-on-one, able to see that block and cut inside. Almost a side swing there by Duckworth.
Nearing 1,000 kills is Duckworth. A little over 40 shy coming into tonight. Iowa State will control this over the net. Myers. Dug, but over. Back to Shaylee Myers. Net or down the line try. Myers to finish the overpass from Brandt.
Myers moving it around, several opportunities there with just overpasses. Finally gets the overpass kill.
After 8 kills in set 1, that's her first of the second set. Van Lannen in to serve. Popped over by Legrand after it rolled off the head of Lundgren. And then just getting a finger on it was Hanfelt, the freshman. And she was able to get the kill. Didn't play the first 13 matches of the year. Now her 3rd straight appearance. And she will serve. Lundgren.
And that's all credit to Legrand and her offensive prowess so far in this second set that led to the middle blocker for K-State jumping and giving Lundgren that one-on-one opportunity.
Legrand has Iowa State on the run after the serve. Tia popped up by Myers, tight to the net, and into the net were the Cyclones. And Jason Mansfield applauding his team's transition.
Yes, that was a little tight there for Fox. She does a really nice job not trying to do too much, but just using that block of Iowa State.
It's interesting, K-State young in some spots. They brought in a bunch of freshmen. They'll have a whole huge freshman class next year as well and totally change the face of the program over 2 years here. And even though they have a lot of seniors, there are a lot of people starting and playing exclusively at their positions for the first time. Legrand, along with Fox. Even Myers, to a certain degree, didn't play as much as she's playing now. And Sims at libero. So you have a lot of these upperclassmen that are learning as the season goes on. And one of the exciting things has been, as you watch them, as they learn to be more consistent, you can see this team looks like a postseason team if they can keep it rolling.
Yeah, you definitely see growth, you know, night in and night out as you watch them play and have started going through this Big 12 conference and the gauntlet of night in, night out having to perform, and have really proven that they're willing to battle it out.
Admittedly, self-admittedly, they did not play well, as what Jason Mansfield said, against Arizona State. Really the first time this year that they did not bring their A game. Learned from that. 2 big wins on the road last week. And now they've got a huge road trip coming up after this homestand. Home tonight against Iowa State, home today against Texas Tech, and then the Wildcats will go on the road for 5 straight matches against teams that are either ranked in the top 20 or were ranked in the top 20. Utah just fell out of the poll this week, but a very good program awaiting K-State as part of that 5-match road streak. Fox on the left side of this rotation. Myers on the right, splits 2 defenders, and she's to double figures for the 10th straight time.
One-on-one, not much Iowa State can do.
Fresh Goolsby there.
Yep, Myers having that much space to attack.
Goolsby trying to answer back. Misses wide on her line shot. Iowa State's been much better as far as attack errors, keeping it in here in this second set, but that one results in a side out. Goolsby able to answer back. Third kill for Goolsby. Aaliyah will rotate out. Tough night so far for the freshman. She'll spend some time with the coaching staff, and a service error from Iowa State will give the ball back to the Wildcats. That's Durandi. Started a year ago, now rotating in as part of a three-hitter rotation. Iowa State still also missing Nayeli Gonzalez, a former freshman All-American and All Big 12 selection that injured herself last year. Only played 11 matches and is still working her way back. They do expect her back at some point. We saw her working out today. She did dress out. But Gonzalez not yet cleared to go. But when she gets back in the lineup, boy, that'll be a huge lift for Iowa State.
A lot of weapons.
Ace for Sims. That sends us to a timeout. Kansas State, down as many as 5 points in the second set, has pulled ahead by 3 here on ESPN+. Kansas State has pushed back in front here in this second set after falling behind early. They won the first 25-16. Another big night for Shaylee Myers. K-State's star outside hitter has 10 kills already, hitting 400 from the left side. Right on her average so far this year, averaging 5 kills a set and hitting over 300 from the left. It has not been the same for Iowa State. Morgan Brandt leading this offense at a 5-1 tonight for the Cyclones, Liz, and it hasn't seemed to matter. It's been a little better here in the second set, but what does Iowa State need to do for Christy Johnson-Lynch to kind of free up this offense and get it going?
Well, I think some tempo would be good, a little bit more speed with their offense, because K-State's block has really been causing some troubles. You see a lot of errors trying to avoid the block, and if they can find a little bit more pace, you know, and put a little more pressure on K-State's defense, I think that would make a big difference for them. But they just haven't passed well enough to get that sort of tempo going.
Which is a little surprising. Van Gorp in the back row, along with some of those outside hitters. 2 in a row here by the Cyclones. Got the service there, then Durandi from the back row. So Iowa State, after the timeout, able to pull within 1, and they'll be serving with Van Gorp, who leads the team in aces with 24. Picking on Myers. Clinton hard into the block. K-State scrambling a bit, will get it over. Hanfeld coming from behind the center. And suddenly the Cyclones have found some rhythm.
And we see Brandt doing what LeGrand did earlier, jump setting front row, a little bit offensive, and allows Hanfeld no blocker.
K-State unable to handle the serve. And the Cyclones on a 4-0 run have zoomed back in front. Picking on Myers again of the back line. Clinton blocked. A repeat from LeGrand. Tip try. Brandt will swing and will get it off of the block for a kill. A 5-0 run by Iowa State and a timeout used by Jason Mansfield. Not often you see the setter have to be the one to go up and swing, but that's what happened for Brandt. Now this 5-0 run notwithstanding, K-State's offense has been clicking all night and the last week or so, and that, of course, means the setter gets some of the credit. For more on that, we go to Sophie Smith.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, this offense is still being led by Ava LeGrand, and one word that anyone would use to describe Ava is consistent. Because of how much work she's put in this season, her confidence has grown so much, and it's allowed her to show up every single day and be that leader for this team. Coach Mansfield said that her leadership comes from who she was before she came to college and who she's worked so hard to be. So in those big moments, she is the one that this K-State team wants to have the ball.
That's what you want, your quarterback to have it. And LeGrand has been that. And on the other side, the quarterback for Iowa State, Morgan Brandt, has done the job to force this K-State timeout. As you look at LeGrand's numbers, 4th in the Big 12. The offense as a whole, 3rd in the Big 12 in assists per set coming into play here today. But for LeGrand, she waited her time. Right? Freshman hardly played, sophomore hardly played. Last year in every now and then, but more kind of in the Van Lanen role as a I'm going to come in and serve, and I'll rotate in the back row. And this was her first opportunity to run the show, as she did when she was a high school All-American out of Papillion, Nebraska.
And you got to appreciate a kid who's willing to come in and just grind it day in, day out, and wait for that time, and she's taking full advantage of that. And those are the kind of kids you really got to respect, just kind of biding their time until they get the opportunity, and once they do, taking full advantage.
Clinton. Williams on a stuff block. Good cover by Van Gorp. Back line attack, and Durandi gets it in. What a turn by Iowa State.
I almost thought that attack was out of bounds, but line judge right there. Hard to see.
Can't see in
Yeah.
that
Woo.
shot, but yeah.
It's close.
6-0 run by the Cyclones. Clinton able to bring one back off of LeGrand's hand and put it in.
Yeah, both blockers for Iowa State jumped with LeGrand, even though she was back row. She's just rotating to the front here.
Mistake by Iowa State's block allows K-State to get a kill and a side out to end that 6-0 run. Popped up twice by the Wildcats. Pond couldn't get it over. So the Cyclones will side out and have it back. A 7-1 run here by Iowa State. Despite all of that, K-State still only down 3. Cyclones hitting .321 here in this second set after a dismal showing in the first. Myers. Out to Duckworth. Clinton hard off the block. One hand save by Van Gorp. Iowa State will get it close to Duckworth, but it rolls out.
Yeah, see both sides of the net fighting for every point. This is exactly the type of match we were hoping to see tonight.
I think, and I was just going to say, this feels more like what you normally see at a K-State-Iowa State match.
Yes.
People flying all over the place, balls getting upped, and just great rallies. Good serve by Clinton, another ace. Her second of the night. And already the 5th for K-State. Clinton came in with just 8 aces on the season, 24 errors, but she has 2 aces here tonight and has served so well. Henfeld behind the setter, able to break the serve of Clinton.
Hanfeld does a nice job, had that one-on-one opportunity. The freshman did a really nice job keeping the ball on the court, seeing the block and not making the error.
State high jumper was Hanfeld in the high school ranks, in addition to being an all-state pick and a legacy kid, one of 3 legacy kids at Iowa State. Her mom played volleyball at Iowa State, amongst other sports. Tapped over by the Cyclones, Brandt or Hanfeld, and it is a point and kill for the Cyclones. And K-State's going to use another timeout.
That's really heads-up play there by Hanfeld. Ball just kind of ricochets close to the net. Nobody's there. Does a good job getting up there and putting the ball down.
So Hanfeld suddenly has come alive. She's got 4 kills, hitting 500 from the middle, making 5 kills, hitting 625. And here you see the difference between the hit percentage in set 1 to set 2. Iowa State low error, 15 kills to K-State's 9, and a lot of kills, not surprising. Iowa State came into tonight leading the Big 12 in kills per set and second in the league in assists per set. That's normally their game. They pass well, they finish well on offense.
Yeah, that first set was very uncharacteristic of a typical Iowa State team. You see that they've had some of the best liberos to come through the Big 12 at Iowa State, so they typically pass very well, which allows them to have a lot of offense and kind of keep defenses on their toes, on their heels, you know, not able to really shut them down. And that Lynn still lots of success there with kills.
Well, Van Gorp, the libero for Iowa State, doing such a great job. Next, perhaps in the line of these great liberos. Still serving on the Cyclones with Tia. Had a lot of swings in set 1, struggled, but has played much better here in the second set. And Long on the serve. No aces, 3 errors for Iowa State on service. And the Wildcats will try and rally again as they bring in Van Lannen. Redshirt freshman from Wisconsin, a cousin of Liz Grigorski. Played here last year for K-State. Duckworth high off the block. LeGrand covered, so she's out of the play. Myers unable to finish. Pawn unable to handle the shot from Goolsby, and Iowa State sides out the other way.
But you see Van Gorp does a better job getting outside the block. Makes the dig and then gives Goolsby that opportunity to turn a play in transition.
Probably something the coaching staff talked to her about on her approach. Myers only 1 blocker in front.
Well, I'll say it again. Again, that was all LeGrand. Staying with the play, soft touch there, just getting the ball up in the air for Myers to finish.
This was Goolsby in the last play, but LeGrand going up, yes.
We've seen her do that a few times tonight with one hand, just keeping the play alive.
McCune, a little off of the timing in the middle. Clinton from the back row and hit it over everyone. Clinton frustrated as the Cyclones side out, trying to even this up at a set apiece. 2 away from doing so, and they'll bring in Ava Martin to serve from the back line. Another Kansas City kid, sophomore transfer from San Jose State, along with Tia. K-State racing to get this back in play. Clinton will send it over. Brandt will throw it down herself, and it's set point for Iowa State.
Brandt is an offensive setter at Iowa State. Something K-State needs to pay more attention to. See if she's really come alive here in this second set because the passing has been better.
Myers on the right side is Doug. Iowa State to tie it up at a set apiece. Goolsby hard into the block, could not get it. Myers and into the net were the Cyclones. It's going to go on Brandt. Second set point coming for the Cyclones. K-State serving with Myers down 3. K-State needs 3 in a row to force extra points. Play to 25, win by 2. Not a great serve received by the Cyclones. Chance for the Wildcats. Clinton off the back row. Set. Timeout now, Iowa State.
We're going to use every timeout, every challenge. It will be a knockdown, drag-out fight tonight.
The rest of the first set, they're really out of the ordinary. I mean, you look at the series history between these two, even when they didn't go 5 sets, very rarely was there ever a time when it was 25 and the other team had teams. I mean, it just was not, that never, it's always like this, right down to the wire. Two programs that for years went after the same recruits, built their teams the same way. It's not a surprise that even with Jason Mansfield now in place, Christy Johnson Lynch, the dean of all coaches in the Big 12, with Ray Bouchard retiring, unsurprising on her program, and K-State trying to build back that same legacy of grit, hard work, toughness, all that. Not surprising that they have continued to play in a great rivalry as it has been. Christy Johnson Lynch, she's kind of the Bill Snyder, Matt Campbell, if you will, of Iowa State volleyball. She's built that program from literally nothing into one of the more dominant stories in the Big 12, Big 8, whatever you want to say, during her time there. 21st season.
Yeah, you know, a national champion from Nebraska setter. She knows the game of volleyball and is very passionate about, you know, teaching it and building a program, and has, you know, really done that with Iowa State in that program.
There was some talk of her name when John Cook said he was done in Nebraska. As a former Husker herself, would she be in the mix when that news first came out? But it was quickly Danny Busboom from Louisville that went, and it's worked out well. Iowa State with a roof on Fox, and that'll end set 2. So Iowa State rebounds and makes this what we thought, a dogfight here in Manhattan. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN.
Avery, are you ready to play?
Always.
Play Wildcat Riches from the Kansas Lottery for a chance to win up to $360,000 instantly. Download the Kansas Lottery Play On app and get in the game.
Let's play, Wildcats.
Behind every winning team is a playbook. Ours, it's built on trust, team, care, passion. Headquartered in Manhattan, Kansas, and founded by proud K-State alumni, we're purple to the core. Just like our passion for the Cats, our passion to make buying and selling equipment simple, transparent, and straightforward runs deep. At Purple Wave Auction, our #1 play is connecting buyers and sellers across the country with no reserves and no surprises. From ag and construction to fleet equipment, we're your trusted team. Purple Wave Auction, proud sponsor of K-State Athletics.
There's a spirit of innovation radiating from the Iowa State campus. You can feel it flowing through every building and in the hearts and minds of every person who studies and works here. It inspires a culture of creativity and collaboration unlike any other university, which is just one reason Iowa State was honored as the Entrepreneurial University of the Year for the Americas. At Iowa State, the spirit of innovation is in everyone, guiding us to create a brighter future for all.
There has never been a better time to be part of the Big 12 than right now. This is a defining moment for all of us.
Big power hit from the outside. There it is.
Stuffed! And it cannot go over. Down the line, big swing. There you go. And an ace.
We truly are a different league.
Unlock more sports for one unbeatable price. Get unrivaled coverage all year long. Introducing the new ESPN Fox One bundle.
Oh, as we mentioned, this is the preview tonight, the opening act, if you will, on ESPN Plus. Doubleheader of great action. Colorado at Arizona at 8, and then at 9 Central. 16th ranked Baylor, number 8 Arizona State. A battle for the top of the Big 12 here on ESPN Plus later tonight. Don't miss it after this match is over. That will be a lot of fun between those two teams. Two outstanding coaches, Ryan McGuire and J.J. Van Neal going after it. That should be a whole lot of fun. Here's what we've seen so far here tonight. in this matchup between the two. K-State's had the upper hand in service aces, but a little more attack errors for the Wildcats in that second set. What did Iowa State do that allowed them to get back in the match?
Well, they did slow down the errors, but they were able to pass, get into some offensive rhythm, and then put more pressure on K-State with their serve. We saw some errors with them in the first set that really allowed K-State to kind of do whatever they wanted offensively and put more pressure on K-State's pass. Didn't allow them to get into their offensive rhythm, and Myers didn't get to touch the ball near as much as she did in the first set.
Only 4 kills for Shaylee Myers in that second set after 8 in the first. Let's roll the highlights of what we saw the first 2 matches. K-State dominant from the word go, really came out firing. Myers was the story, 8 kills in that first set alone. K-State hit well over 300 for much of that first set till late. Then the second was all Iowa State. Shady Myers, they just had no answer to the Cyclones in that first set. But in the second, things turned as the Cyclones finally got on the board and rhythm. They got to a quick start, cut down their attack errors. Morgan Brandt had 4 kills as the setter in that second set. Reagan Hanfield, the middle hitter, with 5. So obviously the strategy changed from going outside to in the middle for the Cyclones, offensive.
Yeah, and that really comes from the pass. They got to get the pass. And, you know, Coach Johnson Lynch, she was a setter. And so I think she also was in her setter's ear kind of telling her, hey, we need you to be a little bit more involved and put a little more pressure on the block of K-State. And it's really paid off for them. But it all starts with the pass.
What can Kansas State do in the third set? Look at Shaylee Myers, the reigning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. There is her line so far on the night. Coming in after a double-double, 20-plus, and it's 2 straight matches. Just an astounding season for Myers. Not that you didn't see it coming, but you didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a good player for K-State, but to this level, it was beyond what you thought you might see in her senior year.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at what the preseason accolades that they kind of hand out, you know, it was Clinton and really no one else for K-State because they just didn't know, you know, who was going to be able to step into the role of Aaliyah Carter with the offensive production that she had for K-State last year. And Myers has definitely stepped into that role and filled it probably better than anyone could have imagined for the Wildcats.
High school All-American out of Lincoln, Nebraska. As all those Nebraska kids do, and you know. Grow up, you do someday wish you could have played for the Huskers. That didn't come. She was more than happy to go to K-State, be around in this area, be able to play in front of her family who comes to every match she talked about. A couple of Nebraska kids on this roster for K-State with LeGrand and Myers. A state that for a while K-State was not in for so many years. When Jim McLaughlin started the turnaround here at K-State, really Jim Moore before him, and then McLaughlin, and then Susie Fritz, and now Jason Mansfield. Nebraska was such a pipeline of talent for K-State. It's only been recently that the last 5-6 years they've dipped back into that state.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of volleyball being played in Nebraska, obviously, with Nebraska having the success they have. You know, people fall in love with the game, and it's great to see in the Midwest because it's not classically, you know, a sport that the Midwest has been really known for. So, you know, you see all these programs developing like Iowa State, Nebraska, you got K-State, KU, you know, Missouri's been on the map. So that all those teams kind of lending into better volleyball in the Midwest.
Yep, Creighton, Omaha, we saw Omaha in here.
Yep.
Kelly O'Connor is now a K-State staff, was coaching at Omaha. Clinton serving here after the Wildcats got an opening kill to begin the third set. Tied at 1. Myers. Williams was ready, but didn't need to touch it as it falls on the Cyclone side. And maybe it's just who's ever on that side of the court gets off to a good start.
The lucky side.
Clinton serving again. Her serve tonight has been fantastic. 2 aces and 2 long scoring runs in the first 2 sets. Shallow serve, picking on McCune. She'll get it right back and hit it off of Myers. Unlucky or good attacking by McCune there?
Well, definitely hitting high hands. She hit it off the hands of the blocker instead of using the arms, and just the hands were kind of facing the wrong direction, and the angle that she was coming at, though, really pressed over to the right side of the court. made it a little bit tricky.
Williams hanging and finishing. Does K-State try to get Williams more involved here tonight? That's just her 5th kill.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Mansfield did mention, you know, how proud he was of Jordan Williams, how she played on the road this past weekend, and, you know, we've really seen her offensive production really start to come to life.
Yeah, the 2 double-figure matches, double-figure kill matches, 2 of the 3 she has in her career. So, again, that is more of what K-State would love to see. Clinton from the back row able to rattle it under the hands of the block. I don't know if it's just Clinton feeling better, getting back home after suffering through some injuries last week, but she seems to be moving better here tonight than we last saw her.
Yes. Playing more free than what we saw.
Durande upped by Clinton. Then Clinton from the back row. What a turn by Anaya Clinton. Jason Mansfield on the court. Loving that from his outside hitter. Timeout, Iowa State. Look at Coach Mansfield going right to Clinton. A fantastic dig and then a finish. We'll talk more about it when we return. Well, just before we went to break, how about this play by Anaya Clinton? Serve, receive, and then get up and get going and putting an X serve in the back left corner. Liz, your thoughts?
You want your outside hitter to always be available in the back row, and Anaya Clinton was ready. And if your players are ready and calling for the ball, making plays like that, you want to reward them with sets like that. So great setter choice there by Ava LeGrand. And Clinton with a nice deep corner shot. Didn't try to do too much. We saw our airmail some earlier, and this time able to keep it in the court.
Boy, Hanfeld heating up in the second and third sets. We heard Sophie talk about her earlier, a legacy kid for Iowa State. Mom ran track and, or competed in track and field, played basketball at Iowa State and volleyball at Iowa State.
Wow.
Lundgren blocked. LeGrand able to cover. Myers through the hands of Hanfeld for another kill. 13 for Shaylee Myers.
Yeah, taking advantage. Duckworth on the right side blocking. Finding some seams in between hands.
LeGrand to the back row. Back to Hanfeld. The Cyclones have found something here, but they're freshman middle.
Okay, you can see why Coach is so excited about this freshman. She's really stepping up in a big way.
Huge emotion, too. Look at that. Just firing up her teammates as a freshman. Some of that fearless confidence that we heard about earlier. Off the tape, Clinton to LeGrand, and then Fox, too tall.
And Hanfeld with the celebration again, trying to get her team going.
Love it.
In this third set.
Even as a freshman, I mean, it can be intimidating as a freshman. A lot of upperclassmen on the roster. You know, how do I fit in as a leader and showing my voice? Gotta love that sort of attitude and approach, that grit. And we mentioned it, Christy Johnson Lynch told us that they look for that That's a big part of their recruiting plan when they look for kids. That is the intrinsic values. That's what they look for. Try and be in the right culture at their place. Cyclones rebounding after a slow start. They've put up 3 straight. Tia still serving. Myers didn't get a touch. A rare attack error from Shady Myers. All tied. Tia trying to go after Clinton. This time to Sims. A bit misplayed. Myers comes in. Cyclones in system. Goolsby upped by K-State. Lundgren passes over. Duckworth on the right. And Iowa State with a run of 5 straight. And the Wildcats will make a sub. Schneider in for Fox.
And we've seen K-State do this a few times when they've been in some times of struggling a little bit. We saw it at West Virginia.
Trying to change things up. Myers blocked again. Handfelt.
Almost looked like she wasn't there, but last second, I don't know how her hands even got there because she was so late, but barely gets up enough to get the block.
Her reaction to getting that because of how late she was is priceless. 6-0 run here by Iowa State. Schneider with a tip try gets the finish. Lauren Schneider, redshirt sophomore from Texas, Corinth, Texas to be exact, did not play the first 47 matches of her career at K-State. Redshirted in 2023, didn't play last year. And now has been rotating in to help K-State. Can provide a lift off the bench offensively for sure. Goolsby blocked. And underneath the net was Goolsby. This has been a thing that K-State has pointed out a few times tonight. This has happened. Goolsby, when she comes through, she lands with her foot across the line. I saw K-State coaches last set pointing us out to the coach or to the referee that happens.
And you have to be completely over the line. If your foot is still on it, technically it's not a fault.
Correct.
So since her foot was sideways but over the line completely, then that was the call. Splitting hairs sometimes.
It is.
It really is.
That was very close, but a good look there on that last replay that did look like her foot was across. Handfelt to serve. Back row, Myers wasn't quite ready. Goolsby in a high set, blocked by Lundgren. Speaking of freshman middles, K-State very excited about the former Montana star.
Yeah, Lundgren's getting better with her blocking, reading, and she has a nice finish with her block.
6'4", true freshman from Montana. Tipped over by McCune. It was palmed by Sims. A good pancake, but it ends up falling to the floor. So the Cyclones side out again. And Martin, who at times has rotated in a 6-2, but now just serving in one rotation for Iowa State. She is in. Product out of Bishop Miege. Went to San Jose State and now Iowa State. McCune blocks Williams. K-State gets the up. Clinton, oh, and a misplay by Martin as it was maybe headed out. But Clinton gets the kill. And Clinton and Myers, yet again, the dynamic duo with 23 of K-State's 34 kills. Goolsby hard into the block. Quick set McCune, K-State touched it. Out to Clinton. Martin covers as it goes off the block. Goolsby on the left.
Wow, great save by Martin. Almost running into the
table on the far side.
The table, and Gets the up. And Goolsby with a nice finish.
These young Cyclones getting fired up out on the floor as they struggled in the first, but have been right there with K-State since. LeGrand had an open net, but put it wide. And after making only a few attack errors through most of the first set, K-State's been a little too heavy for Jason Mansfield's liking in that department since. Already their 4th attack error of this set. Clinton too far, speaking of. And Iowa State pushes up by 3. Paula Keischlack in for the first time and serving, but it turns into a side out for K-State. Jordan Williams, number 6. And now Clinton to serve. K-State has run a lot of points off of Clinton's serve in the first 2 sets. She has 2 aces. And into the net.
And we've seen that from Clinton in previous matches where she has missed, you know, hasn't been able to get on those scoring runs. This first time we've really seen her miss here tonight.
First error. Van Gort, miscommunication between Pawn and Sims, sent over the net, but out by K-State. And Alex Kluckman coming to check in, giving Clinton a break. So 3 passes to the back line for K-State. Myers. Williams couldn't finish. Cyclones come near side. Tia dug out by Pawn. Out left to Myers. Up in the back row by Durande. Thrown to Tia, and she mishits it. Good rally.
Yeah, great rally. Unfortunate miss by Tia. I wanted to see more.
Totally different. This is what we saw on tape from Iowa State when you watch their matches last week against Texas Tech and UCF. It was not this team in the first set, whether it was the environment, whether it was being on the road, whatever. Struggled to start, but they have picked up momentum since then. Tia with a kill into the block.
Yeah, you almost get a feeling from Iowa State. It's building. You can definitely feel it's building for them. They just continue to turn things into the right direction. You know, it started really slow. They were down five points early in this set. Doesn't feel like the same set so far.
No, it does not. Tia now with 8 kills to lead Iowa State, 6 digs. 7 for Hanfeld, who's hitting 700, and then 5 each for McCoon and Goolsby. Been a tough night for Goolsby, returning to her home state. Myers into the block. Well, after 8 kills in set 1, whatever the Cyclones did to limit the swings for Myers, it has worked.
Well, I definitely saw them doing this a little bit in their warm-up. A double quick, you run Lundgren with a shoot to that 3 spot and then a fast set to the outside. And you saw a one-on-one opportunity. Myers is going to win that.
278 hit percentage now for the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. Hanfeld on a slide.
Wow. Almost felt like she might mishit it as she was going, but able to put that down.
A budding superstar for the Cyclones. Down 2 middle blockers in all Big 12 performer Hendricks Walker, and then Tierney Jackson, who's out tonight, who have been starting as well, and it's been Hanfeld for the 3rd straight match, showing some freshman poise. Goolsby unable to keep it in. Her 7th attack error tonight. And a side out to K-State. Sierra Jones one of the assistants for Iowa State, up to talk with Goolsby. Clinton and Lundgren somehow get back up and throw a block on the Cyclones' right side.
That's great read there. Clinton and Lundgren really paying attention, made a nice read on that. Didn't get fooled by the back row setter.
See, Clinton went up on the setter, but was able to go back up right again and get the block. Here's Hanfeld. She continues to eat K-State alive. Hanfield pushing near double figures. Hanfeld now with a career best 8 kills. Make it 9, but she commits the service error.
It was close.
Was.
Like to see that kind of aggressive serving there by a freshman.
Here's Sims. Quick set to McCune, and she hit it long. No touch called at the net. And K-State's within 1. Sims still serving. Duckworth dug out by Myers. LeGrand tight to the net. Williams jumped too quick.
We've seen that, just a little misconnection where Williams has had to tip more attacks. And that time she was just a little early on that.
Jason Mansfield wants a timeout. K-State had been on a good run, but doesn't want to see that momentum turn to the Cyclones. So a timeout used by the head coach of the Wildcats. Well, we talked about Goolsby a little bit earlier, but Goolsby, of course, is a young lady that has some name recognition here at Kansas State. So you look at Jason Mansfield, and that's because Aaliyah Goolsby's uncle is Denzel Goolsby, who played football here at Kansas State. Denzel was a safety here for the Wildcats from 2016 to 2019. In fact, here's some footage of Uncle Denzel for Aaliyah getting an interception off a tip ball against Mississippi State, and that big road win for the Wildcats. That Goolsby family includes Brian Goolsby, who was a fullback here at K-State back in the heydays of Bill Snyder. And of course, Denzel now, Goolsby owns Goolsby's here in the Little Apple, a restaurant that's down near Aggieville Bar and Grill. So I don't know if Aaliyah and her family went to Goolsby's before they came here, but maybe they did.
How many times can you get that in there? Goolsby, a little tongue twister.
Well, when you first get the roster and the stats, you're like, Goolsby, okay. Now there's got to be
got to be a connection.
And Denzel, who actually has done some work for us on ESPN Plus with K-State Game Day, the football pregame show, texted him immediately and was like, Denzel, can you tell me about Aaliyah Goolsby? And he was like, that's my niece. Iowa State serving out of the timeout by K-State. Schneider, who came in for Fox in this set. Quick set middle. McCune nearly got it down, was celebrating, but the Wildcats get it up. Brandt able to finish the set as she gets her 5th kill in the last 2 sets.
Oh, I just have to say that up by Simone Sims off of that McCune quick was amazing. And Myers with the diving save to keep it alive.
Sims in double figures in digs for the 7th straight match. And it's Martin to serve. Picking on Myers. LeGrand has to run to get to Clinton and able to get it through the block of Brandt. Late in the 3rd, tied at 1. K-State won the first, 25-16. Dropped the second, 25-22. Who wins set 3? To take the upper hand. Pond into serve, just across the net. All the way out left to Goolsby. Off the block, right to Clinton. LeGrand slams it down.
Nice timing there by LeGrand. She hasn't gone for that here recently. This time, sees the block, was not going to jump on her, and good time to put it down.
Iowa State able to counter right back. Back and forth we go. Paula Kajszlak is in again to serve. Defensive specialist out of Poland. Part of the junior national team program there before coming to Iowa State in her 4th year with the team. Clinton nearly puts a dent in the scorer's table.
Definitely some power behind that swing. Van Gorp was there, just not able to handle the speed on that attack.
No, she just redirected that fastball right into the batter's box. Or into
Glad this was protecting
right.
us.
The backstop. Tia. Williams to try and tie it. Will. McCune did well to get to it, but it went too far over, and the crowd in Morgan roars in approval as we are tied again here in the 3rd set. And a timeout by the Cyclones. Williams now with 7 kills, hitting .429. This consistency issue for K-State, trying to get it back to where Coach Mansfield wants it. Let's go to Sophie Smith, who has more on consistency for the Wildcats.
Thanks, Brian. Well, K-State's consistency has just not been where Coach Mansfield really wants it to be in terms of serving and passing. He said the key right now is just trying to be there for them, give them some tips, try to help them, and not let them dwell on their mistakes. And he said he's really trying to encourage them and remind them of the things that they practice every single day. And it's going to reiterate to them that they know what it takes to be a good, consistent team.
We saw, it felt like, at the outset of the night in set 1, that was what it was happening, what he was talking about. But it has now been more of what we've seen here lately, which is the ups and downs, which is, listen, you're not going to play perfect volleyball all the time.
Correct.
But I think the frustrating part for the coaching staff of K-State is the little things that they work on in practice, serve and pass, some of the approaches and all that, and haven't been able to do the little things consistently every night. And I think that's the part that's the frustration.
Yeah,
the controllable.
He wants to see his team build on that, right? Because they're capable. He mentioned, you know, they are capable of performing at that high level, but haven't been able to do that over time. And when you play a good team like an Arizona State that comes into your building, a high-quality team, you got to be able to do those things to get them out of system. And so he wants to find that, and it's one of those things that you're building as you go through the season, and he's hoping to see that continue to build for this team, and it has. You've seen some amazing things. They've come back. I mean, in some games you did not think that they were going to be able to win and found a way, and that's just kind of continuing to put the emphasis on those little things.
West Virginia would have been one of those. West Virginia played outstanding in that match in Morgantown. K-State somehow turned that around, faced a whole bunch of match points, but still got out of there in Morgantown with a win. The win at number 25, North Carolina, comes to mind as well. Another match where K-State got just destroyed in the 4th set, but came back and won in the 5th. Iowa State pushes up by a point here after a timeout. K-State had roared back to tie it. Can they do it again? Myers up the line, missed. Iowa State by 2 in this pivotal 3rd set, and now K-State will use their final timeout. Just the 4th attack error, or 5th attack error of the night for Williams, or for Myers. She has 6 digs. Jason Mansfield will visit with some of his assistants. They try to figure out what they need to do. That's Andrew Mayberry, who is in his 1st year, coaching the setters, helping out with the offense, and Kelly O'Connor standing behind him, helping out with the liberos. You see Christy Johnson-Lynch doing a lot of the talking right now for Iowa State. Coach Mansfield talking to his team here. I would think at this point you're just trying to calm everything down, right?
Yeah.
Keep poised, don't lose, don't get panicked.
Get the side out. First time here, get this side out, and then use your serve and try to put some pressure on Iowa State.
Really, since the opening set, we haven't seen the serve really cause Iowa State problems. It caused them a lot of issues through much of that first set. That has not been the case since. They looked a little bit more like we thought they might.
Yeah, they've adjusted. I think they've kind of moved Goolsby a little bit sometimes in out of serve receive, and they are subbing her out of the back row. So they're definitely moving some pieces, and Martin now coming in the back row instead of Duckworth in the back row. Yeah, so definitely making some adjustments that have paid off for the Cyclones.
Van Gorp to serve. K-State goes to Myers. Blocked to the ground. It's Hanfelt.
Well, this is the Hanfelt set, I think. She's come alive here in this third set, doing it offensively, but also defensively.
She's been huge in the last two sets overall, but you're right, here in the third, both sides of the ball. Clinton from the 10-foot line breaks set point number one. Another tight set, as you would expect in this rivalry. K-State wins the side out, but now needs 2 straight to force extra points. Go to 25, win by 2. Iowa State needs just a point to take a 2-set-to-1 lead into the fourth. Tight to the net. Brandt brings it back, but Hanfelt cuts it too tight. A rare mistake from the freshman Hanfelt. In fact, that is her first attack error of the night.
That was perfectly played there by Brandt on that tight set, or tight pass.
Really sold that she was going to go up and kill it. Brandt on the run. Durande from the back row, dug by Clinton, but over the net. Martin out of nowhere to get it. Now Durande again, up by K-State. Battle above the net, comes over to K-State. Myers couldn't get much on it. Out to Tia, she's blocked. Van Gorp with an unbelievable up. But then Tia hit it out, no touch. I think there will be a challenge by Iowa State.
Would say that's a good challenge. I think there might be a touch, but I don't know. That happened pretty fast.
Iowa State is challenging a block touch.
A huge call. As it is, we're going extra points. If this is overturned, Iowa State wins the set and goes up 2-1 in Manhattan.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't think it touched it.
I think it went right over. Oh.
LeGrand, the setter, was the one that would have touched it if it touched anyone. So close.
So close. I mean, it is right over that index finger of LeGrand, right there. Does it move a little bit? I don't know.
Boy, I don't know.
Again, as I've said many times, Brian, I'm glad I don't make that
I know.
After review, the call is confirmed. Iowa State loses their challenge.
So Iowa State unable to win the challenge, trying to din or lower the din in here, the noise. But the momentum stays with K-State. They win the side out. They break match point. And we go to extra points. Tia this time able to hit it off the block.
That's a great repeat by Brandt. Give Tia that opportunity to fix that error, get the kill. Really impressed with both setters on both sides of the net, making some smart decisions for their team.
Set point number 4 for Iowa State. Some discussion at the table about rotations. Whistle for play. Brant to the back row to serve. Myers.
You knew that ball was going to Myers. Great pass. Myers coming alive here into this third set.
So another set point broken. K-State serving with LeGrand. Wide of the mark, back-to-back attack errors by Hanfield, and now it's match or set point for K-State.
Set point K-State.
Crowd on its feet. LeGrand lets it fly. Brant out to Tia. Off the block, put over. Iowa State a chance. Tia out of system swing. LeGrand brings it back to Myers. Off the block, Iowa State blocked it. Tia is roofed! What a finish to the fourth, or to the third. We go to the fourth when we return.
Introducing the Kansas Lottery Rivalry Riches starting lineup. We're all players with the Rivalry Riches scratch ticket. It's your shot to win up to $50,000 instantly. Plus, you can enter your ticket into the Kansas Lottery Play On app for a chance to win great game day experiences.
Need a second opinion? Look no further than Kate's Heating and Cooling. I was told that my 15-year-old furnace had a cracked heat exchanger by a local HVAC company. I wasn't convinced and wanted a second opinion, so I called Kate's, and I'm so glad I did. Their team conducted a thorough and professional free inspection with a combustion analyzer, and in 15 minutes, Kate saved me $14,000.
10-year manufacturer's warranty? Not here. With Kate's, you're covered for life. Kate's, where service makes the difference.
Morgan Family Arena packed to the rafters tonight. A special environment, no doubt. Here comes another block! Cross court snuck it in. As if this place needed any more energy, it is electric in this building. And then the block on Warhol, what a rally! And then Fox with a hammer.
Wildly entertaining and unpredictable Big 12 has a champion to crown, and AT&T Stadium is where we're going to decide it.
Into the corner, touchdown.
Well, Kansas State and Iowa State dead even in kills, almost dead even in digs and in blocks. As you would expect in the rivalry, it's been a lot of fun. We're going to a fourth set. K-State up 2-1, but these last two have been some outstanding volleyball in a deafening Morgan Family Arena.
Yeah, K-State came back. They were down. Iowa State was in control of this set. You know, K-State, again, I think some of those road challenges they've had earlier this season really played to their favor here at home, and living off of this loud crowd here. Didn't make the mistakes. Iowa State makes those mistakes late in the set and give K-State that third set win.
Iowa State led 17-13 late in that third set, and also 24-21, but saw K-State rip off 6-1 run to end it and win the fourth. So here we go, or win the third, going to a fourth. I'm just so excited to get to a fifth. I know what's coming.
I know. It's likely. It's very likely.
K-State will try and make sure that doesn't happen as they battle the Cyclones. These two teams have battled it out to back-to-back meetings in 5 sets. That was last year. Both were 5-set wins. by K-State. They have won 6 straight against the Cyclones, 7 in the last 8. But Iowa State just outside the top 25 at 13-2, trying to begin their Sunflower State trip. But here, a win in Manhattan and then over to Lawrence to take on the Jayhawks on Friday. The Jayhawks tonight took care of business against Texas Tech in straight sets. And it is quite loud in here as we head to the 4th.
Yeah, the rally towels are out.
Young and old, enjoying what has been an awesome match. We told you that it's night of great volleyball here on ESPN Plus, starting with this great rivalry. Later tonight on ESPN Plus, the Big 12 doubleheader continues. Colorado and Arizona. Colorado ranked 24th in the top 25, and then 16th ranked Baylor at 8th ranked Arizona State tonight, 9 Central here on ESPN Plus. Big 12 taking center stage tonight in volleyball country. McCune coming over the net to play a ball that was set by LeGrand, touched the net, and a point for K-State to open the 4th. Whether it matters or not, who's ever had the first point to start a set has gone on to win that set between these two teams. Use that however you want to. Wildcats will serve with Emerson Van Lannen. McCune. And it's Tia into the block of Lundgren.
Yeah, that set floated wide of the antenna. Tia able to take advantage of Lundgren reaching a little bit to the outside there, not closing that net.
Pretty well balanced offense by Iowa State in the 3rd set. 4 kills from Hanfeld led the way. She has had a tremendous night again. Lundgren blocked, and it falls above Sims for a block by the Cyclones. But 3 kills each as well from McCune, from Duckworth, and from Goolsby, or Tia, I should say. Myers, tip try, and it's wide open.
That smart mix up there. Everyone deep, trying to be ready to dig her attacks and all the different shots that she's had tonight. Good soft touch over the block.
Myers hit negative in that 3rd set. 3 kills, 4 errors on 16 swings, but opens up the 4th with her first in this set. Big block on Tia. Lundgren shows a little bit of emotion after the big block.
Yeah, we've seen a big improvement there with K-State on their block to finish the 3rd set. Huge block. And then here, early in this 4th set.
Hanfeld, double figures for the first time in her career.
Hanfeld made some errors late in that 3rd set that she hadn't been making previously, and we're a little shy going to her here early, but good decision there by Brandt to get her going.
Just off the net on the serve. Put over by Sims. Back row attack, Durandi, touched by K-State. Tight for Fox, good throw to the corner, covered by Durandi. Tia wide of the mark. It feels like the 5th set. I mean, it feels like every point is just, you're scrapping and clawing, and it's so big.
Yeah, that sense of urgency is definitely heavy in the air here tonight.
Both of these teams had seasons to forget a year ago as a service error by Myers gives the ball back to the Cyclones. Last year, Iowa State 10-18, K-State 10-17, and for two programs that had mirrored each other for so long, it's kind of odd that the first sort of losing season in some time came last year.
Yeah.
Both struggled with injuries, just ransacked Iowa State. Same for the Wildcats, and that's all she wrote in a competitive Big 12. Durandi out of system, able to get the kill through the block.
We'll see her playing front row instead of Goolsby here in this fourth set.
Interesting. It's been a tough night for Goolsby. 5 kills, 7 airs for the freshman superstar for Iowa State. LeGrand brings it back. Clinton, a roll shot across. Out back to Durande and through the block. That's 2 in a row for Durande on the left. A starter there a year ago.
Yeah, Durande kind of hitting into those reaching arms of Lundgren and just sneaking it over the net on that right arm. She's not quite finishing that hand over the net.
So Iowa State by 2 in a must-win fourth set for them. Myers from the back row.
A good decision there by LeGrand. I think getting her going here in this fourth set will lend well to them doing well and trying to finish this match in 4.
Sims, line drive serve over the net. Duckworth on the right is blocked down by Clinton.
We've seen Iowa State do that quite a bit tonight with their tips. Very short into the block of K-State. K-State's just been ready for anything tight at the net.
Sims grazes the tape on a service, and then Hanfeld unable to get it over. Neither side has been really great on that quick set to the middle. How do you improve the timing other than great passing? So once you get the passing down, is it just reps and practice?
Yeah, you know, it's just finding that rhythm, and every attacker is a little different in their sequence and how they move. And, you know, with Hanfeld not having as many reps probably with, you know, your primary setter, you know, just still trying to get that rhythm kind of worked out.
Seen her way better on the slides than we have on that quick set.
Yeah, it gives her a little bit more time, and because those threes, those shoots to the front of the setter there, it's got to be perfect.
Well, not only a career high in kills, but a career high in blocks for Hanfeld. She just picked up her 6th. Overpass coming, Williams ready and waiting.
Nice job there by Williams. She was patient with it, didn't jump too early. We'll see that a lot. Didn't try to tattoo the floor, just keep it over and in.
And away from the block, McCune. Williams sets for Clinton. Well done by Jordan Williams. Bump set now for Anaya. And over, blocked back down by K-State, and then finished by the Cyclones. Might have been a mistake by the Wildcats as that was headed out, it looked like early. You wanted almost a challenge in this rotation. This hit right here by Duckworth, it looked like that might have been headed out, but put in by LeGrand. And then Iowa State turns that into a point and a side out. LeGrand to finish. And that's kill number 3. Came to K-State with her high school sweetheart, Will Swanson. One of the tight ends for K-State. Both playing big roles for their teams in their last year. Myers. Back line, Tia.
Back and forth we go.
11 kills for Tia, who pushes above a negative hit percentage for the first time. Now hitting 0-26. Service there. No aces for the Cyclones here tonight. K-State, in fact, came in leading the Big 12, allowing the fewest service aces of anybody in the conference at just 43. Getting some substitution and rotation things check. Lauren Schneider has come back in for K-State. Van Lannen to serve. Van Lannen to serve for the Wildcats, who lead by 1, lead 2 sets to 1, just won a thriller, 27-25 in the third. And Brandt comes right back and answers LeGrand. And Cluckman back in for K-State. And her fellow teammate and club, Van Gorp, to serve. Talk about that here coming up in a bit. Van Gorp to put it in play. Heritage Christian Academy is where she went to high school. Out of Olathe. Myers into the block, popped up by Martin. Tip try by Iowa State, knocked back. Back line attack, Pawn with the dig. Myers tried to go down the net, read by the Cyclones. Tia, an aggressive throw, and LeGrand able to catch it on the way down. 8th block of the night for K-State. And the seesaw battle continues. Brandt, another try, added a dump, and K-State read it. Myers, blocked! Brandt and Hanfeld.
Does a nice job there by Brandt, sealing that line shot from Myers.
Way off the net for Fox, and she hits it out. Tough night for Fox. Just a pair of kills and 5 errors. Sims on the serve receive. K-State goes right side. Myers. Duckworth out, no touch. There is a touch called. Iowa State gets the kill with Duckworth. Not much argument from K-State.
Nope.
Great serve and an ace, the first of the night.
That ball dropped out of the air right in front of Myers.
Jason Mansfield will use a timeout in a must-win set 4 for Iowa State. The Cyclones up by 3. When we return, you're watching the Big 12 on ESPN+. Iowa State in a must-win set 4 on the road, up by 3 in this 4th frame. An important start of their Kansas two-step as they play against K-State today and then KU on Friday. They are finishing a stretch. We heard from Sophie earlier about this stretch of 5 of the last 7 on the road. And 3 of those 4, the last 4 here, all against ranked teams, and then 2 tough teams, Illinois and K-State. So not been an easy road stretch for this young Cyclone core. Showing well tonight. Clinton puts it across from the back row. Again, Durandi Sims with an incredible up. Can K-State get it over? Yes, on a dive by Fox. Iowa State in system, and they'll finish it with Hanfeld. It was just amazing that K-State got it up at all anyway, but Hanfeld, the easy play.
Yes, Sims flying all over the back line there. Clinton with another great save, and then Fox just...
Part of the reason why Fox is in there and has won the job, her ability to chase. What a change of pace by Clinton from the back row.
Yeah, that set just wasn't what she needed to get it over, really, but able just to put enough pace on it to drop in front of Brandt.
The two left side hitters, the stars for K-State, just tore apart the Cyclones in the first set. It has been hard sledding for Clinton and Myers since set one. Some adjustments made by Iowa State defensively. They have been able to get digs and some touches and some blocks. 10 blocks by Iowa State, and almost all of that in the last 2.5 sets. Myers from the back line into Brandt, so she's out of the play. Durandi will throw it up and find the corner.
That's smart by Durandi. Really not much she could do with that set besides a nice deep tip there, as Iowa State was kind of scrambling from that Myers tip.
Iowa State by 5. It's about the same point where they led in the third, but couldn't close it out. Clinton, did she get it touched by the block? They'll say yes. Second try, another block. Legrand a third time, and roofed. And K-State will use their second timeout. The Iowa State block. Duckworth leading the charge and forcing the timeout. See Jason Mansfield there wanting to get that offense going again for K-State. On the other side, defense for K-State taking the center stage. Rachel Van Gorp, the linchpin at the libero spot. She's played well tonight. For more on her, let's go to Sophie Smith.
Thanks, Brian. Coach Johnson Lynch said earlier this week that Rachel Van Gorp is the total package at libero. She can serve, she can pass, she can play defense, she's quick on her feet, and she's continued to say that some liberos are only good at one or two of those things, but Rachel Van Gorp is one of those rare players that can do it all at a very high level.
All right, thank you, Sophie. And as we mentioned, Van Gorp, along with Goolsby and K-State's Alex Kluckvin, all played on the same team for KC Power. And there they are, the Wildcats that played and the Iowa State players that played as well. Tatum Tyndall also on that team with KC Power. So a little bit of a reunion here of that club team for the Wildcats and Cyclone players. But Christy Johnson Lynch, in talking about Van Gorp, said that's helped a little bit. Van Gorp and Goolsby have a connection here right from the get-go.
Yeah, she's mentioned how that really had played well. They've been able to play off of each other because they're comfortable with each other. They've been on the court together and competed at a high level together.
Cyclones by 6. A must-win set 4 to try and push it to the 5th. Quick set Lundgren popped up by K-State after the block. Clinton dug out, coming over. Clinton there to hammer it home on a much-needed side out for the Wildcats. That gets Williams back into the front line. And Myers to center back with Sims to serve. Quick set middle, and it's Hanfeld. Who else? Stacking on what has been a career night.
And you saw her make some critical errors at the end of that third set, but you gotta love for Coach Johnson Lynch that she's out there, not afraid, fearless. We've talked about it, and you see exactly what they're talking about.
K-State unable to handle that simple roll shot over after it rattled around on the Iowa State block. A great turn for the Cyclones, and Hanfeld back to serve. What a night for Hanfeld. 12 kills, hitting 500 with 8 blocks, but she commits her second service error. I'm having a hard time imagining Hanfeld redshirting at this point. I know that they have talented middles, Christy Johnson Lynch, but my goodness, what a talent. Hanfeld out of Ankeny, Iowa, and another middle attack and hit and finish by McCune. After being forced to go left side a lot early because of bad passing and bad serve receive, Iowa State has fed the middle of the floor. They're up by a touchdown on K-State, but a service error back-to-back from the Cyclones. That one from Ava Martin, and that's her second. So now Clinton to serve, and if K-State's going to go on a run, this is the one server they hope can do it. She's done it a few times tonight. Clinton with 2 aces. Quick set McCune, and it falls to the floor. No timeouts left for Kansas State. McCune now with 9 kills. 21 combined kills from the middle hitters of Iowa State. And an ace by the Cyclones. Their second. Both have come in this set. Kaischlak, her first ace of the year. Picking on Pond. Williams blocked, but into the net was Goolsby. So a point to K-State, or it was Tia, I think, not Goolsby. Tia got called for being into the block, or into the net. Durandi will check in. And K-State to serve now with Van Lannen. Nearing the end of the fourth. The redshirt freshman to serve for K-State. Tia upped by Pond over the net. Durandi from the back row. Iowa State hitting 323 in this fourth set. And the Big 12 leader in kills, the Cyclones have 16 of them here in this set. And they have set point. Myers, hard swing into the block. A repeat. Cyclones all over it. Durandi again for the back line, and she stepped across the 10-foot line.
It's been close several
Very
times.
close, yep. I thought the one she had before, she actually did step on the line, and it wasn't called. But the attack error on Durandi there makes it set point number 2 for Iowa State. Wildcats have to get 7 in a row to force extra points for a second straight set. Or we're going to a 5th. And a misplay by Hanfeld. Set point number 3 for the Cyclones. LeGrand, a double-double tonight. It's her 3rd straight match with a double-double. Clinton. Myers blocked. Iowa State setting up shop on Myers. 2 blocks in a row. K-State goes to Fox. Brandt to try and finish the set. Could not. Joust above the net. Comes back to K-State. Myers off the shoulder of Durandi. Martin gets to it, and it's played over by the Cyclones. Fox right side dugout. Tia blasting it long, didn't get a touch. Set point number 4 coming up. Iowa State does have 2 timeouts. Christy Johnson-Lynch considering it, but will ride with her team maybe 1 more point.
Yeah, she's thinking about it.
Tia off the block, centered up, Sims to Myers. Myers has not been able to be getting a kill here lately. Clinton on a dive to keep it alive for K-State. Controlled over the net, Cyclones in system. Middle hit, popped over again. 1 blocker for Tia, and she'll finish the set. We go 5. We told you that it would go 5. Back in a moment on the ESPN Plus. We go to a 5th. Iowa State edging in front of K-State in kills after a 17-kill 4th set. They outkilled K-State in that set 17-7. Picked up a couple of service aces along the way and won it going away at 25-19. So now we go to a 5th. Ryan Smolder, Liz Wagner-Bush, our entire crew, Sophie Smith with you as well. And a 5th set coming up between these 2 teams. It only is fitting because that's what they played last year, the 3rd straight meeting between the 2 that's going to go to a 5th set, and the 3rd in a row for the Wildcats overall. More on that in a moment. First, the story of tonight, beyond the outside hitters that we talked about at the Open, has been Rachel Reagan-Hanfeld. We talked about her in the beginning with Sophie Smith, and here she is dominating this match.
Yeah, Coach Johnson-Lynch specifically mentioned her in our visit with her earlier this week, and you can see why she's so excited about this freshman. And you know, initially plans to redshirt her for her freshman year, but you know, at this point, you almost can't keep her off the floor.
No, not at all. Hanfeld with 12 kills, 8 blocks, both career highs, both lead the team. She also has a hit percentage of .400. So this 3 straight matches now for Hanfeld. She's hit around .460 over those 3 matches with an average of 2 kills per set from the middle.
That's amazing.
After not playing for 13 matches at this level.
Right, it's great. And her energy has been, you know, so palpable for this Iowa State team, and she wears her expression on her face, and I think her teammates are feeding off of that, and that's, you know, fun to see for the freshmen there at Iowa State.
All right, so we're going to a 5th set. It's a race to 15 points, win by 2. Here are the records for these 2 teams in 5-set matches. Someone, for the first time this season, will lose in 5. Iowa State has won both of theirs, and are 11-7 64-53 all-time under Christy Johnson-Lynch in 5-set matches. K-State 4-0 this year. They are 11-7 under Jason Mansfield all-time in 5-setters, and are coming off back-to-back 5-set wins on the road. Can they do it for a 3rd straight time? In fact, of those 4 5-set wins for K-State, 3 of them were in true road matches. This is the first home match that has gone to 5 sets. Everything magnified, mistakes magnified, points magnified. We start serve Clinton, and it's long, a service error. K-State had 5 aces in the first 2 sets. They have not had an ace since. Cyclones start in front, 1-0. Williams blocked, played over the net, and into the net on the Cyclones. A point to K-State. I think we're going to get a challenge here. Although you can't challenge. Now you can. I was going to say, I thought you could challenge if there was a block resulting in a 4 hit, so that is indeed a challengeable thing.
Iowa State is challenging. There was no touch on that block.
Ruled a touch that would allow K-State to keep playing. For what it's worth, Iowa State immediately said they did not touch this. Hard to see from that angle whether it caught the arms of McCune. But you can see right away, she's saying, no, I didn't touch it.
Nope.
Nope, she did not.
Nope.
So this will be overturned. And Iowa State will win the challenge.
After review, the call is going to be reversed, no touch. Iowa State wins the rally, and they retain their challenge.
So the Cyclones, instead of it being 1-1, go up 2-0 to begin here in the 5th. And it's Hanfelt to serve. No aces, 2 airs for Hanfelt. About the only thing she hasn't done right here tonight. 4 digs for Hanfelt as well. Also a career best. And just her 3rd ever match. 6-foot freshman from Ankeny. We'll put it into Kaylee Pond. Myers, tip try. A palm save, and it's ruled down by the official. And will there be another challenge by Iowa State?
This is such a hard. She might have gotten there.
I think so too.
Yep, I think it's a good call by Coach Johnson Lynch.
Well, now you remember you get 3 challenges here in the 5th because you've added an extra one.
Iowa State is challenging. It was a successful pancake.
Well, maybe not.
That one not, yeah.
That view shows maybe she was a bit late. That looked like the ball hit the floor. Maybe this angle will give us a better look. Myers hasn't tipped much. Well, now that one looks, gosh, that is close.
It is close.
If it hit anywhere, it might be in that bridge of your first knuckle on your pointer finger. Boy, I don't know.
Yeah.
That could go either way. I think if you're a K-State fan, you're saying it's one way. If you're an Iowa State fan, you're saying it's another. The ball clearly goes to the right.
Yeah, direction.
But is it after it hits the floor? Boy. I mean, that looks like it hit hand.
Yep.
But if you marry it up with the other side, it looks like it hit the floor. Boy, there it looks like for sure it hit the hand, but it's hard to see. Another one zoomed in.
After review, the call is going to be reversed. It was a successful pancake. They will replay the rally.
So replay is the correct term there because the play was stopped and it was a point to K-State. They'll just replay the point. So instead of it being 2-1, it's 2-0. 2 challenges back-to-back by Iowa State, both won. We've had 4 challenges here tonight. I think all have resulted in a reverse.
Yeah, yeah.
Misplay by Pawn on the serve receive. Kept alive by K-State. Quick set, McCune up by Clinton in the back row. Myers forced to play it, so Pawn has to pass across. Cyclones in system. Dig by Sims. LeGrand gets there. Here's Myers. K-State still looking for their first point in this rally. Can they get it? LeGrand will finish and get it. LeGrand with 4 kills.
That smart play. As the teams are, rallying, chasing balls down, out of position. Smart play by LeGrand.
That was a long rally. There's a lot of different things that occurred in the rally. Iowa State might challenge again. They are. And William Stanley will tell us what in this rally Iowa State is challenging.
Wondering about a net fault.
Iowa State is challenging a net fault in the middle of the rally.
Well, there you go. You got all those challenges to burn because you've used them, or haven't used them to this point. And you've won 2 successful in a row. Why not?
I mean, every point is so critical in this 5th set.
Oh, and it is a net call there on Williams.
A good call. Gosh. How do you remember? That happened earlier in the play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great challenge by the staff of Iowa State to alert Christy Johnson Lynch of that infraction.
After review, the call is going to be reversed. Net fault number 5. Iowa State wins the rally and retains the challenge.
It was actually Williams, not Clinton, but the point is made. And Kansas State loses the point, now 3-0. Jason Mansfield wanted an explanation. So Henfeld to serve. Cyclones with the first 3 points in the 5th. Pond on a serve right down the line. Picking on the freshman a little bit. Myers with the kill.
It was definitely outside the antenna.
Certainly looked like it. Not one call from the officials. And will Iowa State challenge?
It was.
A 4th straight play and challenge from Iowa State.
Iowa State is challenging. The ball was out.
Well, from our vantage point, it was clearly out.
Yeah. And we're
hard
talking,
to believe it wasn't missed by the referees. Yeah, see, that's not even close. That's
not even close. It should not take long for this review.
Truthfully, it should have been called.
Yes.
In live action.
It should have. And everyone knows.
Right.
After review, the call is going to be reversed. Ball was out. Iowa State wins the rally.
So a 4-0 start by the Cyclones, and all 4 points have come on challenges that have been won. Never know what you're going to see when you go to the gym. And tonight, a new one. 4 straight challenges won by one team. Myers hard into the block. Kept alive by the Cyclones, but they won't get it over. Myers with her 18th kill gives K-State their first point of the 5th. And now the game within the game. The service from K-State, which was so effective to start the night, but has not seen any success since. Can they keep Iowa State from being in rhythm? Tia, blocked but out. And it will be a side out for the Cyclones. Tia with her 13th.
A Deronde on that one. She's really come in and given a big lift for Iowa State.
Veteran off the bench in place of Goolsby. Serve receive has not been great for K-State in the 4th and the 5th. Myers blocked, saved into the net, and an up and over by the Wildcats. Clinton with a dig on McCune. A repeat Clinton again with a dig. But off the block, Brandt ends the rally. And a timeout coming for the Wildcats. Iowa State showing great emotion as the breaks are going their way and they're making plays happen on the road. We're back with more of the fifth. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN+. Christy Johnson Lynch's team trying to stay perfect in 5-set matches this season and begin this two-step through Kansas with a 5-set come from behind win. And they've got a great start so far here in the 5th set on the road in Manhattan, trying to end 6 straight losses to the Wildcats. Cyclones serving with Martin, who has a pair of errors. Jason Mansfield's team also unbeaten in 5-setters, but they have a lot of work to do. Serve receive not good from Kaylee Pond. Myers trying to clean it up.
Wow.
Again, a great up by Iowa State, but Durande, who's been so big here lately, couldn't get it over.
That was such a great up by Van Gorp on that attack by Myers.
25 digs for Rachel Van Gorp. Big 12 rookie team member a season ago was more of an outside hitter combo with a defender. Durande on the left after a shallow serve, and Iowa State siding out on 100% here in this 5th set.
Yeah, Brandt doing a really nice job running this offense. Tough pass there, but able to get her attacker in a nice position.
Almost to the midway point of this 5th set, Cyclones in command. Clinton, a torpedo, did not catch anybody. And we flip the ends of the court. 8-2, midway through the 5th. Iowa State in command in Manhattan, trying to come from behind and win a 5-set thriller.
And it really starts for K-State with a pass. You know, they've really struggled getting into any offensive rhythm. They've had to be very heavy on the outside and just not in rhythm, you know, so haven't been able to put the velocity and place the ball, you know, in a place where Iowa State's really had to work a whole lot on defense.
Sims serve receive. Myers able to finish. So Myers will serve. Myers does lead the team with 15 service aces, but only 1 error, no aces tonight. Deep serve to Van Gorp. From the back row, Durande got it in the back line. Right, Durande has been a huge, as you said, huge lift off the bench for the offense.
You know, and initially it was just back row where she was attacking still quite a bit out of the back row, but now front row, back row.
10 kills for Durande, her first double-figure match of the season. Myers splits 2 defenders. 20 kills from Myers for the 3rd straight match.
Yeah, 20 kills, still a lot, but you would say it's almost a quiet night for Myers.
Agreed. Well, it has been since the first set where she dominated play. And Iowa State had little to no answer. K-State struggling here. They'll get the ball across, down 5. Cyclones trying to keep the hammer down. Hanfeld got another. 13 for Reagan Hanfeld.
This time not missing on the opportunity she had. We saw her late in that third set, make some errors, but Brandt having the confidence in Hanfeld to go up there and swing away.
A big hole for the Wildcats, down 6 with just 5 points remaining for the win for Iowa State. A frustrating night, you would think, for the Wildcats, who have dropped uncharacteristically 2 straight here at home. And again, this place, such a dominant force for the Wildcats in the first year under Jason Mansfield. Last year, they went 4-6 at home, and that was or 5-8, I should say, at home. And that was a point of emphasis this offseason, was we're going to be able to protect our home court, as dominant as Morgan Family Arena can be with the noise and the crowd, and now in danger of dropping their 3rd straight home match against an Iowa State team bidding to get back into the top 25. Crowds thinned out a little bit as the night has moved on. We're at 2.5 hours for this thing.
We knew it was going to be a barn burner.
Knew it coming in. Everyone was asking, what do you think about tonight? I said, it's going 5 sets. You might as well mark it down right now. This baby's going long. It's going to be a tightly contested match, and that's what we've seen. Cyclones, though, trying to prevail. Serve receive mistake by K-State. That's been their nemesis in the 4th and the 5th. Hanfeld got it in. And it's the reaction shots, the emotion from Iowa State, too, the last 3 sets.
And Hanfeld really with a lot of emotion. She really brought that energy to bring her team kind of back into it.
K-State gets an answer at the middle. It's been Hanfeld, it's been Durande, and both have done it after that first set. It was the second set on that those two have combined to lead Iowa State in this one. Tia has finally been able to get to double figures in kills, but Durande, her first double-figure kill match of the year, replacing Goolsby in the 4th full time, and Hanfeld all night long in the middle. Tia, Sims out of nowhere to dig it. Legrand to swing. Quick set, Hanfeld. K-State finally able to have an answer. Myers from the back row. Van Gorp with another dig. Duckworth a shot deep. Clinton with a throw. Up by Brandt. Here's Tia. Through the block. Another long rally won by the Cyclones.
And both teams just laying it all out. You see the exhaustion after the end of the play. Pouring all of it into this match, trying to get this win.
2 teams that were preseason, the number 8 and number 9 teams in the standings. Knew they'd be even coming in, and they have been even. Legrand with the kill to get a side out. Iowa State thought she hit the net. They're not going to get the call. K-State sides out, but yeoman-like effort and work to be done to try and get back in the match now. Clinton just across the tape. Barely over by Iowa State. Legrand tries to drop it in, and she does. Back-to-back kills for Legrand.
Yeah, Legrand being super aggressive, trying to will her team to win this 5th set. You gotta love that out of the senior.
5 kills for Legrand. Season high is 8. Short by Clinton again. All the way out left, Durande blocked. Kept alive by K-State. Clinton from the back row gets a friendly bounce. 2 timeouts for Iowa State. If they want to use one, you're up by 5 with only 3 points needed. And Christy Johnson Lynch decides, let's get the momentum ended now. Timeout, Cyclones. Anaya Clinton, 16 kills, 14 digs, 3 blocks, and 2 aces. Again, as we heard from Sophie earlier, playing a little dinged up, having to fight through some pain. And she's put together another double-double night. Anaya Clinton with her 2nd straight match with a double-double, 3rd straight match in double figures. And early, you thought that she and Shaylee Myers were just going to dominate the play and the story all night, but Iowa State has, with their serve and with their aggressiveness and K-State's passing struggles, Wildcats have not been able to get good one-on-one matchups out on the outside.
Yes, and they've also had to go more back row. You've noticed a lot of the Clintons' attacks have really come out of the back row where she's getting those kills. And even with Myers, you know, because they aren't passing good enough to really get that offensive rhythm going. And, you know, we saw Jordan Williams early on and Lundgren getting some attacks, but just now there's no passing good enough to get those things going. And that's why also LeGrand's had to get involved and be super aggressive at the net.
Just trying to pull that block away from the pins of K-State. Williams does have 10 kills for K-State. It's the 2nd straight double-figure match for Jordan Williams. But outside of Clinton, Myers, and Williams, nobody else has done really anything for K-State offensively. While it's been a more balanced attack for the Cyclones. There you saw the unbeaten marks for both teams in 5 sets. Cyclones trying to get to 3-0. Clinton serving short into the block, Durande. LeGrand has her choice, finds Myers. A good up by Van Gorp. Misplay on the pass, and then over the net by Durande. K-State has her choice. They go to Williams. Number 11 for Jordan Williams, and K-State's pulled to within 3. So Williams continues her good night, hitting .474. K-State does pass well enough. They are able to get in there. Durande gets the serve received to Duckworth. Dug by Sims. Thrown all the way out left to Myers. Van Gorp with another up. Out left, Durande off the block, and a point for the Cyclones. Up by 7 at one point here in the 5th. A very important point to go back up by 4 and serving.
Hanfeld and Durande really stepping up big for this Cyclone team.
Season high 11 kills for Durande. Here's Hanfeld to serve. Williams off the block. Jordan Williams with a dozen kills to tie a career high. Back to a 3-point set in the 5th. K-State's done well to get back in the 5th after being in such a big hole, but so much work to do. Van Lannen to serve. One ace tonight for Van Lannen. Quick set, McCune. And into the net on K-State. They're going to get Lundgren. Tough call because that makes it match point for Iowa State. Get a look here at Lundgren. Just graces the twine. Good call. William Stanley with that one. So match point for the Cyclones. Can K-State do what they did in the 3rd and break 4 straight set points? Pond on the serve receive. Out to Myers. Blocked into the net. Great up by Pond. It's over the twine. Sims with an overpass. Battle above the net. Over to the Cyclones. And then it falls!
Wow. That is something.
Match point number 2 for Iowa State. As big as that was, K-State still up against a brick wall. LeGrand to serve. On the run, Brandt puts it to Durande off the block. LeGrand feeds Myers in off of her block. It's played by Iowa State. They go quick to McCune. Saved by one Wildcat. Clinton with a dive thrown over by Myers. Cyclones in system. From the back row, Tia dug. Myers an aggressive throw. Couldn't get it down. Durandi to end the match. She got it! Iowa State stays perfect in 5-set matches, and they end 6 straight losses to K-State. Their first win in Manhattan since 2020. It's Durandi with the finish, Hanfelt with the starring role, and the Cyclones with the win. What a match here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We knew it was going to be a hard-fought match from start to finish, and Iowa State able to come away with the win. Really found some, life off the bench from some players that really came in and made some big impact for the Cyclones.
Christy Johnson-Lynch talking to her team. We'll see if Sophie Smith can grab the head coach of the Cyclones and maybe also Reagan Hanfelt. Let's go first to Christy Johnson-Lynch, who's with Sophie Smith.
Coach, a tough win in a competitive environment. How'd your team get this one done?
Man, after the way we started, I don't think we've had anything to lose. Super proud of their grit, and I think they just made some adjustments, and they just, fought, and they did not give up and didn't let anything drop.
What was said in that last timeout to light a fire under your team and get it done?
We talk about composure. You can get excited, but you can't lose that composure, so just keep doing what we've been doing.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations. Reagan, get over.
Reagan Hanfelt, talented freshman.
Congrats, Reagan. Coach called you fearless earlier this week. What allowed you to come out here and play fearless?
I think Coach was talking about all week, just like not having having a chip on our shoulder. Like, we have nothing to lose, and I think that K-State has had like a great season, but I know that we have always had a big rivalry with them, and I think that it just meant a lot. And one of our seniors was saying they've never beaten K-State, and I just think that it was a really fun game.
A team win, honestly, here. What's your favorite part about playing with these girls?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I just love everybody. They're all so sweet and all just so encouraging all the time, and I think there's just a lot of positivity all around, so yeah.
Congrats, Reagan.
Thank you.
First post-game interview, I would think, for Reagan Hanfelt, and she handled herself well.
She did.
More to come, I think, for that young lady's future. What a match. We knew it would be like this all night long. Somebody was going to walk away disappointed, but what a performance by Iowa State. And after what she said, Christy Johnson-Lynch, after the start that they had with a young team, we've seen it before with Iowa State, and other young teams really just can never get back on track. Credit to that staff for finding a way to keep this team focused on just, again, being fearless.
Yeah, and having that kind of chip on your shoulder, road warrior is going to go out there and make some noise and see what happens. There wasn't ever like, we have to win this game. It was, we're going to go out there and compete, and hopefully we walk away with the win.
Now for K-State, as you look ahead to the future for the Wildcats, boy, you had this thing. They're going to obviously say there's times where they felt like they should have had this thing won and maybe had to find a way to continue what they did in the first set. But now you got to get yourself recovered, match on Friday, and then out on the road for K-State. What do you take out of this for the Wildcats?
Well, just kind of look at it and see kind of what areas they need to improve upon, but really just their pass. If they were able to keep themselves in system, that would solve a lot of the problems they had late in that match.
Well, we saw it in the fifth. When they made their comeback, they finally were able to get some consistency with passing, and then all of a sudden they were there. We'll see what happens. This reminder coming up on ESPN Plus, it's just started. 16th ranked Baylor at number 8, Arizona State. If you're done watching us and you love volleyball, you want to see great volleyball again tonight, stay here on ESPN Plus. Flip over on the app. Watch that one, courtesy of Arizona State in Tempe, Arizona. That'll do it for us. We're back on Friday night with another one. Liz, Sophie, and I will be back with that one. Hope you can join us as the Wildcats battle Texas Tech. All games airing on ESPN Networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN.